That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.
Alright, let's talk about Zero Hour. What is the plot of Zero Hour? I'll tell you whenever I figure it out. I know the basics of it. Hal Jordan picking up, or Parallax rather, picking up from where we left him in Emerald Twilight, has now gained ultimate power and wants to recreate or fix the mistakes of Coast City and recreate it. But now he's got ultimate power and the knowledge to recreate the universe from the Guardians, and he understands that he was thinking too small. He understands that he was thinking too small and that he needs to think grander, so he tries to wipe out all of existence, succeeds, and start over, create his own universe, be a god basically, and create everything how he wants it to be, absolutely perfect in his mind, no pain, no suffering, and everyone gets every world that they need, like everyone gets to be happy. He is in some ways the ultimate fanboy trying to fix the DC universe. I guess a good way to compare what Hal Jordan is trying to do is there's an episode of Justice League, or two episodes because they're all two-parters, where the League goes to that really cheesy comic book world and it all turns out to be some psychic kid's plan or whatever, or creation. That's kind of what he's going for. He's trying to recreate reality as he wanted it to be. That part of it I like. Again, it picks right up from where his character is at the end of Emerald Twilight, and just the idea of it really works for me. There's a moment early on in this series where Superman and Batman talk to each other, and it's apparently the first time they've seen each other since the death of Superman and the events of Nightfall. And it's kind of and they talk briefly about that. It's like Superman says, "Well, you've recovered quickly," and he goes, "Not nearly as much as you did." And so that's a reference to Nightfall and Doomsday. And yeah, Hal Jordan was going through the exact same thing with Emerald Twilight. That is literally the exact same thing. He's confronted by an overwhelming force that he was unable to stop, and it destroyed him in the most profound way possible. But whereas Batman, it broke his back, and Superman, it killed him, it destroyed Hal Jordan by destroying everything he cared about. And that's what made him break, and the other two are back to where they were. I thought that was really clever to parallel that and put that together here. The rest of the story, I don't know what the fuck is going on. They're jumping back and forth in time. They're following a million characters. I don't know shit about DC continuity from this time period. So fucking Power Girl is pregnant. Fucking Christ, I don't know what the hell is going on. It is painfully inaccessible to read. Like, you know how if any of you got into comics kind of later on in life, like I did, didn't start reading when you were a kid. You know how you were afraid that comic books would just be this convoluted mess and trying to jump into them would just be impossible to understand what the fuck is ever going on, and you'd need to like take a class to learn anything? That's how I feel reading this. It is so unbelievably inaccessible that I have no conception of what the hell is going on in Zero Hour. So yeah. The story is garbage. It's still founded on what I think is a really legitimately brilliant idea. Like I say, this is the era of destruction for a lot of heroes, isn't it? Because we had Superman Doomsday and we had Batman and Nightfall. Wally West became the Flash around the same time. I I don't know. I think there was some really, really clever stuff here. Is it good? No. But there's some clever stuff that I enjoyed reading. Like, I'm glad I read it, I guess, even though it felt painful. Like, I tried to go into this a couple months back, and I tried 2 or 3 times just sit down and read it, and I could not make myself do it. And the reason you're getting this video so late today is I was trying to read this over the weekend, but I was falling asleep doing it. So I had to get through 3 more issues today. And trying to do that, I'm still like, oh, it was painful. I just wanted to put this down so many times. This is just impossible to read. And also, of course, since this was the main book of the event, don't know what the fuck's going on between issues. There's just like major sections of the story missing. Like, this ends with Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner holding Hal Jordan so that Green Arrow can shoot Hal with an arrow. It's a pretty cool, bittersweet ending for, especially for Green Arrow. And fucking guy who looks like Yellow Firestorm, whose name I can't even remember because he's so goddamn unimportant. He says that he couldn't save Hal or the new Green Lantern in the process of recreating the universe without Hal's interference. Now I know that Kyle Rayner had a very long run as Green Lantern. And I know he did because he comes back, with the rebirth, he's in it. And I know Hal Jordan's supposed to have sacrificed himself to reignite the sun. I don't know where that story happened at, but it damn sure wasn't in Zero Hour. I don't know where the Spectre thing happened at with Hal Jordan, because it damn sure wasn't in Zero Hour. And you know what? I just don't care. I was interested in Hal Jordan's downfall, not his like little fake ass redemption. Making Hal Jordan a story of redemption is just not work at all. And Johns picks up on that, and I'll talk about it a lot with Rebirth next week. But yeah, I recommend reading Emerald Twilight because I do think it is legitimately good, and it's painful to read, but it's hard to read in that it's tragic to watch this happen to a character that you love. But I recommend reading that before getting into the Johns stuff, because it is really important to Hal's character and just a lot of stuff Johns does in his run. If you absolutely need to know what happens in Zero Hour, read a summary. Don't read the book. It's not worth it. Don't do that to yourself. It's not okay. Yeah, normally I like to do a little bit of a plot summary when there's something that's, kind of old that not everyone has read. I don't even know where to fucking begin. So you just immediately got my thoughts on the thing, and I did not like it. Emerald Twilight is steps and steps above this in quality. So yeah, there you go. Sorry, folks, if you're a big Zero Hour fan, because I must have so many of those.
That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.